Just a second. No duration. I don't know how it works yet. Jesus, I forgot the microphone. Ene hetki. Hello. I've never been online. I've never been live on YouTube. And I don't know how it works, how everything works here. You know what? I'll start with another story. Yesterday, when I was going to bed, when I was actually already in bed, I thought I started filming a tutorial for this triangle shawl. And I thought to myself, that would be nice if I could, if I finished the shawl tomorrow, meaning today. And then I could finish filming also the same day or maybe the next day, and then I can publish this tutorial next Wednesday. I usually publish videos on Wednesdays. And of course, you know, even when I was thinking that, I thought, you know what, it's not going to happen. And of course today, because I have only one thing, this one thing is the one thing I don't want to do. I decided to come here to, you know, for your help, to ask for help. Probably knitting together is more fun than just knitting. This is a triangle shawl. I've done this much, which seems very little, but feels like I've done it, like I've been doing it since morning. Like I've been knitting and knitting and knitting, and this is all I got. I don't know how it works. Maybe it's because the rows become longer every time. I don't know. Okay, if you're out there, could you please tell me if the sound is working? If you can hear me, if you can hear Abba, if I should make something louder or quieter. Doesn't seem like much, right? But I've been knitting and knitting and knitting, and this is all I've got. I don't know how it works. Hopefully it's more fun when we are together, you know, because when I'm alone, I keep doing anything but knitting. Like, that's a good thing on the one hand, because I've done many things today just to not do this. But it's a bad thing also, because on the other hand, the thing I need is this, not the other thing, not the other things I've done. That's okay. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it together. So the yarn is left after I made my Anchors cardigan by Petite Knit. Some yarn I didn't use all the yarn. Am I mirrored? Can you read it? Like, can you read it, or do you have to mirror it to read it? The yarn is Drops Daisy, and it's a very nice yarn. It's very nice to work with. It's very warm, it's soft, but it has one really, really negative side, and that's it peels. Like, look at my Anchor's cardigan. I finished it in May or June. I have been wearing it in summer, but I don't know, maybe 10 times in total, maybe even 20 times, let's say 20. But it's already, you see this? And it happened after, I don't know, the third time I wore it. So that's a bummer. Probably if you make beanies, hats with it, maybe that will work. Something that you don't, rub on something else. I don't know. Welcome, welcome. Hello. We are knitting a triangle scarf. I'm calling it a scarf because I don't have a lot of yarn. This is all I have. And this is half. This is half already. So I think I'm gonna have a scarf. But obviously you realize that the further you go, the bigger it gets. And you can make a shawl, or you can even make a shawl that's a blanket, One lady commented once on a totally different subject, like a totally different shawl, that she made, she had bulky yarn, like super bulky probably, and she made a shawl the size of Texas and used it, like sometimes she used it as a shawl, but obviously she could wrap it like fully around herself. And sometimes she used it as a blanket because it was so big that when she lay down, she could cover herself fully with this shawl. I like this idea. I never thought of it after she told me, but it keeps living in my head. It's a nice idea. The yarn is the yarn requires 4mm needles, which I have. I have Addy. I think they are classical Addy needles. I can't remember the name of the model. They're quite long and they're pointy, and the points are, quite long, gradually pointing. I think it would be nice. It would knit nice on 5mm needles. 6 if you're a tight knitter. Definitely not 3. Like, I'm knitting with 4 and thinking about, should I have taken 5mm needles? I think that would be good. I'm not gonna do it, like I'm not gonna start over, but I think it would be more, foldy, flexible. but that's nice. I'm thinking about this, I don't know, what do you call this? Bandana. I'm thinking about bandana. And I'm thinking about a woolen bandana um, for winter. Like does it work? Will it work? Like I'm wearing a bandana. My ears are covered, my head is covered. I have a little bit of hair here, but that's okay. I have my own hair here. So I feel the cold from here, but I'm somewhat defended, right? And does it work? It seems that it should work, and it should be like a fun way to dress in winter, because it looks somewhat fun, summer, but at the same time it's winter, and I'm doing it in winter. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, welcome. Okay, are you knitting anything? Or are you crocheting? What are you crafting? Tell us. If you are, tell us what you're making. You know, the biggest problem probably I have with patterns, I'm always looking for new patterns. New for me, not necessarily new, but new for me. But as soon as I'm on Ravelry or on Etsy looking for patterns, there are so many, and half of them are so gorgeous that I can't choose. Like, what am I gonna do? Buy all of them? I can't yet. I don't know what to do. So if you have found new patterns this autumn, share with us. What are you knitting? What are you crafting? What are you crocheting, weaving, sewing, anything? Because I mostly knit, but I do a little bit of everything. Yeah, we have a theme today. We are listening to ABBA. Not on purpose, I just wore this t-shirt today and I thought, well, obviously, what else we're gonna listen? Iron Maiden, and those are, I'm a big fan of ABBA since I was a child, and last year I visited ABBA Museum in Stockholm, and it was amazing. I cried about 17 times during the visit. Well, to be honest, I can cry during an ABBA song. I have several bands. I cry quite easily, but several bands make me cry like almost every time I listen to them. That's ABBA, Queen. I will remember someone else later, but there is so much music in their music that I just can't. Too much for me. I start crying. And ABBA songs play on repeat all day in ABBA Museum, obviously. And the combination of the music, of the ABBA Museum, of my childhood, because I remember having this CD, you remember ABBA Gold, black cover and golden letters, kind of golden. It was overwhelming, and I saw all these costumes, all these guitars, I don't know, books, posters. It was amazing. It was a very special time. And we went there with my husband for my birthday. It was, you know, special and special and special and special. They came to collect the roskat. I'm blanking. Garbage, right? The trash. I hope it's not too much noise for you, because the window is open and it's windy. So many noises. Are you okay? Should I do something about it? I'm wearing a mic. I thought it should be okay if I'm wearing a mic, but I'm not sure. And plus I have this furry, fluffy thing for the mic. I can wear that if the sound is killing you. So yes, I just wore this t-shirt in the morning, and I thought that the theme of our meeting will be knitting and listening to ABBA songs, because why not? I'm making it, and I'm thinking it's gonna peel as much as this cardigan does. Hello, 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 welcome. Nice to see you all. And if it's gonna peel, will it bother me? Does it bother me? And should I make it anyway, or should I not waste my time? But you know what? I noticed one thing, and it's kind of important. I don't mind extra yarn. I don't mind extra knitted stuff, because it comes in handy sometimes, because sometimes you need a present for someone. Sometimes you just find it as it's a new thing, you know, and start using it or wearing it. It's nice to have something. But when it starts being too much yarn, there is such thing as too much yarn, in my opinion. And I want to use it up, use it for something. But with clothes, it's a different thing. I don't know, maybe it's my thing. They're always in rotation, or I can, you know, I'm always aware what's going on in my wardrobe. And I always get rid of the old stuff, or it's not always old, it's sometimes new, but the stuff I don't use anymore, and I get the new stuff. So if I have too much yarn, that bothers me. But if I have too many clothes, it doesn't bother me, because I deal with it. And that's why I think now I have too much yarn. And you know, there are many skeins that are, I see them and I understand that probably they are not going to end up anywhere. You know, there are too many. Sometimes it's just a couple of sets of yarn, and you know that someday you will make a jumper out of one of them, and you will make a scarf out of the other, and that's okay. But sometimes they start to feed on your energy, if you know what I mean. This is what's happening right now. So I want to use as much yarn as I can. I usually I start with the yarn that's, you know, that I have some of, not the small scraps, but a decent amount of yarn. that I can make a beanie with, or something small. And then when it's over, or when I am tired of it, I start making things like slippers. I have a go-to recipe, a go-to pattern. I make slippers out of all the scraps. I try to make them, you know, look like they are maybe not twins, but relatives, cousins. And I make them chunky, and this way I use up quite a lot of yarn. Not a lot, because slippers are not that big, but you know. And so I think after I make this scarf, probably there is enough yarn for something else, you know, something relatively big. But then I think I'll start with the slippers. Plus, slippers make a very nice present. You know, winter is coming, so I could make slippers. I actually just thought of people for whom I'd love to make a pair of slippers, 2 pairs of slippers, because they're a couple. Yeah, that would be nice. I would love to make them slippers anyway, you know. Scraps, no scraps, so that's good. I suddenly realized that all my knitting and crochet plans are done. Can you believe it? I looked through my list several times, and I actually finished everything I planned for this year. And now I can just not knit, which is very strange, or I can knit whatever I want. And this is what I'm doing. And I'm kind of, you know, I tend to crochet more in summer and knit more in winter, starting in autumn, in October probably. And that's why I'm still in my crochet mod. What am I trying to say? Mode. Is that the correct word? I'm lost. Mood. Let's say mood. I'm still into crochet. And that's why I took the yarn I have left from my scarf I'm designing. I already made it. I have to make a pattern. And made several, 6 to be precise, granny squares. And I'm thinking about making a pumpkin out of it. It doesn't look very pumpkin-y yet, but I'm thinking about adding orange, this color, top and bottom. So maybe it will. And I had to, these two are just not woven in yet. I was thinking that this yellow center is the candle in jack-o'-lantern. Then there is a contrast dark violet, and then the light is kind of, you know, going out, and then there is a pumpkin. I don't know if it's working, but it looks nice. It looks nice. And when I see pumpkins, knitted and crocheted pumpkins that are not, you know, anatomically factually correct, but they are, you know, in the mood of autumn, or in the mood of Halloween, or in the mood of something witchy, something dark, mysterious. They seem amazing, and they fit in. And I'm thinking and feeling that these fit into the I don't know, autumn vibe. I leave them here. Oh my God, my neighbor is smoking something terrible. I mean, some terrible cigarettes. Ugh. I found out about this neighbor because of his coughing, because he smokes a lot. First we found a lot of cigarette, what are they called? Well, smoked cigarettes on the ground. And he lives above us, but his entrance is over there, and our entrance is over here. So he throws his cigarettes, and there are loads of them. There were loads of them, not anymore. After that, we heard him because he coughs so loudly. It's impossible. Every time he coughs, I think he's dying, because it's scary how he coughs. And we didn't hear it from the start because it was winter first we moved it, or it was cold. And then in summer he probably opened all his windows, and we opened the windows, and you could hear everything. And once, and it annoys us, you know, it's not a huge thing, but when you hear it like 10 times a day, that's, I don't know. I don't know. If I were him, I would think about it and, you know, stop sometimes. I don't know. Close the windows. But we imagined this neighbor, and in our imagination he looked like, I don't know, drunk Gandalf, old, obviously not well, you know. But once my husband waited for him, like he was talking on the phone and at the same time like standing under the balconies and watching him. And when this neighbor saw my husband, who was looking right at him, probably he understood that someone can hear him, someone can see what he's doing. He also spits from the balcony. I don't know if he understood, realized everything, reflected on his actions and so on, but probably he thought of something, because first of all, my husband told me that he's about 20, maybe 20, 21, 23, and he looks like a teenager. He sounds like, I can't even tell you, it's scary, but he looks like a teenager. And after this day, he doesn't throw his cigarettes down anymore. He continues spitting, but he doesn't throw cigarettes. Well, if that's not a win, I don't know what is. But still, you know, every time we go to bed, for example, and it's quiet, you know, cozy, we're like lying down and it's And there is this from the window. That's, I don't know. This wool I'm knitting with is 100 wool. 100 wool. 100% wool. Can you believe it? For some reason I thought it was merino wool, but it says it's just wool. Why? What am I thinking about? I probably bought some other yarn from Drops that was merino, and that looked a lot like this one. We have the nearest shop here in Finland where I live, and this shop, there are a lot of Drops yarns in this shop, and that's why I buy a lot of Drops yarns. That's not on purpose, and at the same time I don't mind. Like, I always go for not the most luxurious but not the cheapest yarns, and Drops is exactly that. It's not very expensive, and it's not, you know, it's quality enough. And that's why, like, I have a lot of Drops yarns around the house, and all the scraps nowadays are Drops. Okay, the important part, you see I have a stitch marker here on the right side. This is my right hand. On the right side of the scarf, and that means if it's on the right, I have to increase. If it's on the left, I don't have to do anything, I just have to knit. But the important part, you know, when it's on the right and I knit with the right hand, it's very easy. Oh, the stitch marker, I'm making an increase right after the first stitch. But in the end of the row, I can't see this stitch marker anymore. It's already, you know, you could easily forget about that. And I have forgotten about such things before. That's why I kind of talk to myself and remind myself to make both, to not forget to make both increases in the beginning and in the end. By the way, I'm right-handed, but my father used to say that I am, what is it called, ambidexter. I can I can work with both hands. Both hands are dominant. I don't think it's exactly what I am, but my left hand is also, I feel like I can, if I try, I can quite easily and quite fast make it a dominant hand, like second dominant. Because I remember stories from my childhood when I was, you know, sometimes I would be tired of writing with my right hand and take the pen or the chalk in my left hand. And it was, it was pretty decent. It wasn't the same. It wasn't as easy as the right hand, but it was decent. But I tried knitting, you know, some people knit back and forth. They don't do this. They just go the other way. And sometimes it's very, very handy. That's very nice. And that's just fun. I would love to be able to do that. But I've tried, and it is the thing that I probably cannot do with my left hand. And that's, I can't say I tried, like fully tried, set a goal, something. But it was harder than, you know, the other things. So I'm not sure. I met, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. I met a woman once who could do that. It looked like magic, you know? She just did that and then started knitting again with the other hand. Amazing. But probably I should try, you know, properly if I want to do that. I should think about if I really want to do that, because when I really want to do something, you know, just now I live in Finland. I moved here about 2.5 years ago, and I'm learning Finnish, obviously. And I lend books from the library. There are adapted books, and I already read the usual books too. And there is one book I took from the library maybe 6 months ago. Maybe 5 months. There is like a limit. You can renew the book 6 times. And this is the last renewed period of time right now, lasting. And the reason I've been keeping it for so long, I can't read it. You know, I started, it's a nice book, but some resistance, I don't know. I can't read it, and that's it. But as soon as my Finnish teacher told me that it was a nice thing to read out loud sometimes, because we used to do that like when we were complete beginners, but nowadays we do like more sophisticated stuff, no big deal. And I took this book and started reading out loud. And I do it once a week. When I go to the sauna, we have a sauna in our building, this is Finland. And once a week for, I don't know, 15 minutes, I read this book. And the book is almost over. I finished the book because I set this goal, because I had a reason, because I had, you know, those small details, they help. I'm not reading this book because I make myself, even if I don't like it, if I feel resistance. But I am just reading this book to read out loud, to like train, to practice my Finnish. And that's a totally different story. So if I really wanted to knit with both hands, I could do that. Okay, I feel like I should check the progress. It seems like I should have knitted, you know, 20 centimeters of fabric already. What do you think? Is there even 20 millimeters? Maybe not. Because the rows are getting longer, you know, it's much more fun than when they're getting shorter. that. I prefer that, but in this case I don't have to measure my yarn, I don't have to count anything. I just go on until I'm out of yarn, and that's it. But I love the result, you see? Oh, microphone. Sorry. Are you okay? I'm sorry. And you know, if I want it to be just a neckerchief, I will be done soon. But I want this thing. I want a bandana. So I need about this. Okay. Oh, okay, people. I promise to try to knit. You know what? I am the most productive when I knit for half an hour, then I do something for 5 minutes, but only 5 minutes, and that's it. And then come back, 10 probably. But I should set the timer and then come back and knit. Thank you for being with me. I'll try to come again sometime. Please join me.